A young Hurley is fixing a car with his father, played by Cheech Marin, just 3 episodes after Sawyer called Carl Cheech, who insists they try to start it without a working carburetor. Of course it doesn't work, to which he says,
"Having hope is never stupid. You gotta believe good things will happen and then they will."
Well, yeah, but if you don't have the tools you need, hope is not going to work. Great, the show's now shilling the same bullshit message as a troll in Central Park.
In this world, son, you gotta make your own luck.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense, but it also completely goes against what he said before. We're just meeting this guy. Is it too much to ask to get consistent writing for him within a single scene? He then takes off and never comes back. Someone with a crappy father. We've never seen that on this show before. Then it's after Hurley won the lottery, and the script wastes some time reminding us of what the rest of his backstory is. That's kind of a weird thing with this episode. It doesn't have a previously on sequence, and instead both the flashbacks and the island story remind us of what happened in dialogue, even though you pretty much had no hope of getting caught up if you started watching at this point anyway. They were really feeling those dipping ratings, weren't they? He's talking to an Asian reporter named Tricia Tanaka. Yes, the show is now making a completely meaningless reference to Family Guy. I don't get it. She gets killed when a meteor hits the chicken shack in what is reportedly the most expensive shot in the show's history, because God knows Season 6 didn't need any of that money, right? At home, he goes through more really awkward exposition with his mother, and then his father walks in. Hurley naturally jumps right to how he must want the money, and then we waste some time with lame, icky parent sex jokes before Hurley's father takes him to a fortune teller who says she can get rid of the curse. This results in a pretty funny bit once Hurley starts suspecting that his father told her to do it.
"I'll give you $1,000 right now if you admit that my dad told you to say this stuff."
The mystic arts are not subject to bribes. How dare you?
10,000.
Your dad put me up to it.
Classic. Then his father says he did come for the money, but now all he wants is a fresh start. Maybe you should have considered that before you abandoned your family for 17 years. In fact, why did he leave anyway if he's such a great guy? Hurley doesn't agree, and then he heads off on the trip that will put him on the island, and I really can't feel sad about this at all. The first scene on the island is some of this side of the story's version of the exposition in lieu of previouslys, as Hurley explains everything to Libby's grave. And you know, between all of them, these scenes probably took up more time than a regular previously on would have, so what's the deal? Hurley talks to Charlie, who's shaving, and suddenly the cream and the cut he just got disappear off his face. Usually I don't point out these kinds of minor continuity errors, but this one is so obvious that I actually thought it was deliberate at first, like we were seeing a parallel universe or something. But nope, they just didn't care. Then Vincent comes up doing his best impression of Ghost from A Song of Ice and Fire. Oh, A Dance with Dragons was so worth the wait. Hurley follows Vincent and finds a van in the jungle.
"Well, we are out of Dharma oat bars."
Shut up, take a shit guy. Yeah, I'm that annoyed with him right now. Hurley tells everyone about the van and wants help to get it running again just so they can have some fun again. The golf course isn't doing it for you anymore, huh? Only Jin stays just because he doesn't know what Hurley's asking. Wackiness! Kate wants Sawyer to apologize for the way he was talking to her in the last episode. Oh, you mean the way he kept stopping you from being an idiot? Thankfully, he refuses. And there's the big reunion when they get back, which they apparently couldn't possibly have shown for Saeed, Jin, and Sun. Locke finding a toy truck was much more important. Inside the van is a guy with a Dharma jumpsuit that says his name is Roger, and there's a big slapstick scene of getting him out that only wastes more time. Charlie asks Desmond when he's going to die, but Desmond hasn't gotten another flash yet. Then Sawyer comes up asking about his stash, during which he calls Charlie Oliver Twist. And that's one nickname I really don't get. He's English, so you're calling him the name of another English guy he's nothing like? Whatever. Kate gives more exposition about what happened on Hydra Island, but at least this time it has a useful purpose in getting Locke and Saeed to know what's happening. And then she continues to say, screw Jack, she's going back for him. Our hero, I guess? I seriously have no idea if we're supposed to be on her side here. Sawyer's now joined the van group, and Hurley tries to start it because he has hope. Which of course doesn't work because just having hope is bullshit. Jin can't fix the engine, but then Hurley sees that they're next to a big hill and recruits Charlie. This includes slapping him, so I support it. They push the van down the hill towards some rocks, and Hurley's able to get it started just in time. It could have been a pretty cool moment, but unfortunately the editing on this sequence just sucks. It couldn't be more obvious that they're cheating with how close to the rocks the van is, and Hurley and Charlie would long be dead by the time the engine starts. Then there's a montage of all the couples that ends with Sawyer by himself, and we're supposed to feel sad, but thanks to the last 2 episodes, not only do I not care about him and Kate, I think he's too good for her. And finally, Locke and Saeed let Kate know about how Echo's stick told them where to look for the others, which the episode at least has the grace to acknowledge is pretty damn stupid. And then Kate reveals that she was going to talk to Danielle, who she tells about Alex. Forward progression, what a concept. My score for Tricia Tanaka is Dead is 5 out of 10. Watching it again, I was really reminded of Pop Arena's review of Animorphs number 24, where he talked about how it was too late in the series for a silly bit of fun filler like that. This is pretty much the same thing, and there were plenty more jokes that I left out because, really, what's the point? Although it does actually set up 2 things that will be important later in the season, which bumps it up to an average score. I'm also baffled at why they felt the need to give Hurley an asshole father. We like Hurley, and unlike Jack and Locke, we didn't need this to help us like him. Thankfully, the season will start picking up now. How long it stays that way, I'll leave to be revealed.